Hey YouTube guys, here's a video straight from my phone. I just wanted to show you this very nice Chapman guitar that I bought used recently. And I just did some upgrades on it. The smallest thing is just the string trees on there were really terrible. It's the worst China stuff you can get. So I had rolling roller string trees lying around from Fender. Unfortunately, I only had a gold one and a metal one. But I think maybe I'll just leave it that way. It looks kind of unique. I think it has a decent. It actually has Grover tuners on here. And excuse me, this is just my workspace, my workbench behind the camera. I have my full electronics workbench, and this is just a big mess right now behind me. Anyway, so I really like the design of this guitar, and I have seen so many of those Chapman different types of guitars on the Andertons YouTube channel over quite a few years now. So I changed the pickups and I did a completely reconfiguration of the electronics. First, let me say that in this ML3 something, I didn't like the pickups. They are ceramic. Here's the bridge pickup. It's a stacked single coil, I think. So you can so it's hum canceling and maybe a little bit overwound as well. Yeah, these quote-unquote pole pieces look so cheap, and it's because it's not Alnico pole pieces, it's the whatever type they use in the cheap manufacturing. And then it has this ceramic bar underneath. Normally, I stay completely away from ceramic guitar pickups. That's just basic for me to stay far away. This neck pickup is also a ceramic single coil, just a simple telly neck. And both of them sounded pretty harsh to my ears. I didn't find it inspiring at all. But I know on the pro version of their guitars, these Chapman guitars, I think they have Seymour Duncan pickups in many of those guitars. So maybe it's a question of money, really. Anyway, I put in my favorite pickup of all time in a telly bridge, and actually also I really love it in a Strat as well, and that's the plain DiMarzio chopper pickup, and this is called the Chopper T for the telly style. And the thing is, with these, I've always loved these rail type pickups, even hot rails and stuff. They're just too hot. And the thing is, they sound excellent when you wire them in parallel or even single coil. I think this one has a really good single coil sound. And then I actually had some more fancy telly pickups lying around, but I just took this classic Vibe neck telly pickup from a Squire because the pickups in the the classic Vibes are actually very good, and I didn't want to spoil a set of the good Fralins or I have 2 good sets lying around that I may just sell because I don't need it. So, and I've been leaning very much towards just lately trying to go for a bridge. I've always dialed in my guitar sound with the neck pickup as a starting point and going that way. I've changed that for the first time in my life recently, going with the bridge pickup as the starting point. And I must say, the more I do this, the more the greater I think everything sounds, really. And I think it sounds more like me, actually. That's 6 minutes without me playing anything, so completely clean through this old lab series L3 small solid state, very nice little amp. The wiring here is kind of the interesting part. I spent quite a long time doing this last night. So this position, this switch is only wired for different configurations of the bridge pickup. And then instead of a tone knob, I have a volume knob for the neck pickup to blend that in. So there's no way to play the neck pickup only right now on this guitar, but that's kind of on purpose anyway. I can dial in kind of a bit like the old Esquire wiring. So I can dial in to fatten up I think all the way is a bit too much, but if I just take it down a notch, or a little bit more, and off. So that's an option to just get a little bit more bass actually in the tone, but I think for the most part I will probably not use this very much. So this is the parallel wiring of the bridge pickup, and in the middle it's a single coil. Sounds almost identical to the parallel. It just has a little bit more like hi-fi top as a single coil. For this setup, I prefer the parallel, and also you get the hum cancelling, because right now completely open close to the amp, you can hear the hum from the single coil, and now it's like 80-90% gone. So yeah, unfortunately the switch has gotten a little thing in the middle, well, so I have to change the switch. There's something wrong with the switch now. It's a cheap switch, so maybe I'll put in a better one. It has a little fallout in between. And lastly, on the first position, it's a serious normal humbucker wiring. So it's louder and it's more mid-rangey, and that's actually pretty good, because I like that parallel as a basic. Mostly I use a bit more effects and stuff, but just here also it sounds wonderful. And then you can just switch to the serious wiring for a bit more solo sound. If you have a drive or something. So that's, and you keep kind of the same. I find for most of my life, I find that it's more and more rare that I actually jump between the different pickups, because I find it's too drastic too drastic sound change when switching between pickups. And actually I prefer to really find a pickup that I really like, and then just this is actually all at noon just in this amp, and I think it sounds exactly like I wanted. So that tells me something of the quality of the pickup and the amp and the guitar, and that I've chose the right things for my taste, you know. I find that this pickup and this setup, I can kind of play everything that I like for the first time ever. I like blues, jazz, fusion, pop rock, a few snappy country things, which is normally not my thing. But I do enjoy it just a little bit in the Mark Knopfler sense. And it's such a wonderful sustain. This pickup is just a masterpiece. There's no compression. There's no effects on here. It's not a tube amp compressing. This is just how good, and it really sounds excellent, this pickup. I'm a really big fan of this Chopper DiMarzio pickup. So the last thing I can tell you about this guitar is that I'm using a blue chord. No, this is actually a very old one from my teenage time. I have a few of those. They're good, but funky color. I have a treble bleed on here that I would recommend, and I've tinkered a lot with different values for resistors and caps on as a treble bleed mod, because but many of my guitars I have active preamps in there. Some I made myself, some are EMG electronics with preamps, some have the Clapton Fender thing, and a few of them I have my own buffers in there. So I use batteries in most of my guitars just to have mostly just to have a good sounding volume pickup that sounds identical at every volume. I have tried before, and last night I spent a lot of time trying different things again, and I found that the Fender, what they call the tone saver circuit now, they sell it over pricey in a little box or something, but it's just 2 resistors and a cap wired in parallel and series at the same time. That's the perfect combination. I've never had a treble bleed sounding so good. All volumes sound completely equal, and the taper is perfect from nothing to. So I recommend the Fender values with the from their tone saving. It's 1.2 nanofarads together with what is it? It's a 20 kilo ohm resistor in series, and it's a 150 kilo ohms resistor in parallel, for those of you who know anything about electronics. So I'm gonna play this guitar a lot from now on. I really enjoy this, and it plays so good. It has this is really a big thumbs up for like the wood and the workmanship on there. There's no sticky pointy frets at all. Very nice. I love the design. I love that there's no inlays here, dot inlays. Just this. I think it's so classy and cool looking. Only thing I'm not so fond of is that it's, I don't know, that it's black here. Maybe that's good enough. Maybe it's just because I've seen so many cheap guitars with that. I think it is actually just, yeah, it's a plastic nut. It's not a bone nut. But it doesn't take away that this guitar plays and sounds excellent. I didn't like the stock pickups, but other than that, this guitar is awesome. And I love the carved, I've always loved that carved thing. And this is the perfect balance of a traditional looking guitar with just very tasteful small changes. So, and yeah, so big thumbs up. This is kind of an advert for Chapman guitars and the DiMarzio chopper pickup. So, see you soon. I'm so busy that my YouTube channel is just, sometimes there comes a lot of stuff and sometimes it takes forever to do stuff, but I'll for the time being, there's a lot of live clips just coming up from concerts, and we'll see how it goes from there. So yeah, like and subscribe. As I've said before, I hate that marketing stuff. I really do. But yeah, share this with anyone if you want to. And I'll see you soon. Take care.